BeatGenerals.com.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Beat Generals Fundamental series. In this little three-part series, we're going to be showing you the thing that we at BeatGenerals.com see, most new producers mess up on, most beginners mess up on, and even some intermediate type producers don't kind of really focus in on these things, and it just kind of really makes their beats sound a little bit messed up, and it just doesn't sound very professional. So in this little three-part series, we'll be just showing you the little mistakes that we see, and hopefully help some of you guys out. So this is not aimed at more advanced or upper level type producers. It's more aimed at the beginner and stuff. So if you've been producing a while, these are things you should already know. So let's jump right into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, obviously these days trap beats are still super popular. You hear everybody on trap beats, from Kanye West to Drake to everybody, and they're easy beats to sell, easy beats kind of to make usually, unless you get super complicated with it. But a lot of people make them. And one thing that you always hear people mess up on, obviously the center of a trap beat usually is going to be that drum pattern, that 808. You need that heavy Lex Luger type 808 to really make a dope trap beat. So people get that and they get an 808 and they're super excited to use these 808s and whatnot when they're starting out, that they don't really notice a couple things. So I want to just cover those real quick. Right here we have T808-2. This is from our premium T- kit. Here's what this sounds like. Okay, this is just a mean type 808. So what people fail to do with their 808s is tune them. So what I mean by tune them is, they'll just play C or whatever and then, go up a note, do, a weird little trap pattern, whatever case may be. And they'll do this kind of thing, and and this is C minor scale. And what happens is they have, their instruments and everything in C minor, and they think, okay, so I can just play the C and, play whatever else of the scale with this 808, and this will be in key. Well, the truth is most 808s that you get from these kits are not going to be, at C. They're going to be a different note. So if you're playing a C with this is not actually playing a C. So the way to confirm that it is, and to make sure you're covered on that, is you want to right click your 808, whichever 808 you're using. You want to come over here to this little tab in Edison, and you want to click detect pitch regions, and it'll show you what the actual note is of that 808, the original note. So you want to just come over here once you have the note, which it tells you right over here, G sharp. You want to come over here, and it actually even tells you the octave, but you don't really have to worry about the octave since you can move your 808 up and down as you please in the piano roll. Then you come over here and you find that key, so C, D, E, F, G, G sharp, right? And now when you play this, the C is actually going to be playing a C, and so on and so forth. So you actually have the correct mapping of these keys. Okay, so that's one way to do this. And another thing that you want to just kind of pay attention to is make sure that your stuff is always on cut itself, your 808. Otherwise, if you don't, you'll hear a lot of distortion when the sounds bleed kind of into each other. You see that little wah-wah type, effect when things start bleeding. It just doesn't sound good. So always make sure it's on cut itself. Now, another little thing you can do, which I prefer to use, is a VST in FL Studio called Direct Wave. And what Direct Wave allows you to do is it lets you import sounds into here, right? So I can just drag this 808 into here. Now, once I actually have this 808 in here, let me just make sure it's on the same effects channel just so we can hear it better. Once I have the actual 808 in Direct Wave, you just want to right click and click Find Pitch Root. Now it will automatically find the root note of this right for you, and if you look at it, it actually found G sharp again. So what you can do is transfer your pattern to here, and this is probably going to be a lot lower than this one because it'll actually take it to G sharp with a second octave, so actually a lot higher. Okay, so let's go ahead and just move this down a little bit, and I'll show you guys why I prefer to use Direct Wave. Okay, so on Direct Wave, you don't have to right click and click cut itself or anything like that. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. The cool thing about Direct Wave is that it'll automatically cut off notes where you left them, or where you kind of cut them off. So you'll hear little spaces, which allows you to kind of create a better bounce to your tracks. And something that's very popular, you hear Boy Wonder, Vinyls, a lot of people do these kind of 808s to kind of leave a little bit more of a breathy kind of open pattern. So this is a lot easier to do in here. Okay, so that's pretty much it. These are the two methods you can always use to guarantee that your sounds are going to be in pitch. And this is also cool for like little sample sounds. If you want to use, I don't know, like a door open sound or whatever kind of sound you have that's kind of weird, a snare, a kick, a percussion sound or whatever, and you want to make sure it's in key, just drag into direct wave and find pitch root, and it'll just automatically do all the work for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys learned something new. If you want more tips, tricks, tutorials, downloads, all that, you can head over to www.beatjournals.com now. Stay tuned for part 2. Until next time, beatjournals.com.